What it do, baby? Back here again with another video. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to zero gap any wall clipper, and that includes the Wahl 100 year anniversary and Wahl designers. If you don't have either of those, go ahead and click and fast forward all the way to
5 minutes and 16 seconds.
And we could skip straight into the zero gapping. But because the designers and the Wahl 100 anniversaries don't have the actual bracket, I'm gonna go ahead and start off by showing you how to replace that. So all you're gonna need is another model. For example, if you have an older senior clippers, or if you still have the corded joints, those will work too. So basically we're gonna begin by removing this bracket here. So to start off, obviously you're gonna need I like to go ahead and throw a towel underneath and then a Phillips screwdriver. So we're gonna begin by removing these two screws up top here. And the purpose of the towel is just so if your screws fall on the table, they don't roll away and then you're spend hours looking for them anywhere. So it's a cool little helpful trick I like to use there. So remove the blade. Try to be as organized as you can as well. That way you're not going around looking for everything here. Be real careful with this piece because it will pop out and hit you in the eye. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and remove this lever here. Again, just a screw. Be careful in case that little washer there comes off. So now we're going to go ahead and remove this bracket. This is the bracket that we're going to need to zero gap the Wahl designer or Wahl 100 anniversary. I think there's a couple other wall clippers that can get zero gap, but this is the main bracket you'll need here. Right here, I'm just trying to keep everything organized here, so I just like to put everything in place. That way whenever I'm looking for it, everything's not all scrambled here. Alright, so now you're basically going to repeat the same process over on the Wahl designers here. This one only has, I think it's like the 3 screws, but it's only the one screw in the middle that actually holds it in place. I think I try to remove those, but you actually don't have to remove those, so you can ignore that part there. Alright, so then again, we're removing the lever here. Just unscrew this all the way here. And again, I try to unscrew these, but I realized I didn't have to. So the blade pops right off. So will the bottom blade. And this bracket right here actually just slides right off. You don't even have to unscrew those other two there. And then you actually don't have to do this next step. The only reason I'm going to remove these is in case this piece here happens to pop off while you're doing this. That way you actually know how to put it back into place. But there's a spring here, and that spring, basically there's only one way to load that spring in there. So whenever you're putting it back, you'll be able to tell. So you pretty much just load that spring right back into place there. And then again, be really careful whenever you're putting this next piece in, because I've seen it fly out. It actually has hit me in the eye before, so just try to keep your thumb on top of it. Okay, now what you're actually gonna need, this is it's a little nut that stays inserted right, you'll see right where I put it in. But the purpose of this nut here is that way whenever you screw in your lever has something for that screw to grip onto there. So now we're gonna take the bracket from my seniors. Again, you could use seniors, magic clips, anything that has that actual bracket that can be zero gapped. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use the lever, and I like to use the lever that the bracket had on before. You can mix and match these. I've had red levers or anything, but I just like to use the same one just to make sure that bracket is working perfectly in tune with the lever. Again, I was holding that piece down so it wouldn't come out. Now go ahead and insert the bottom blade here. And this would be a good time to replace your blades, but luckily I had all brand new blades here. So now I'm able to use my actual blades from my magic clip seniors. I usually like to use the bottom crunch blade, and the top I think I use a taper blade, but I mix and match a lot for different types of techniques. So now we're just gonna screw these down all the way just to make sure that everything's in place before we actually begin the zero gapping process. while I'm here, I like to adjust the lever. So some people like the lever extremely tight. I like to be able to move it pretty easily. That way it's easier whenever I'm fading, and it's a lot quicker for me there. So now, whenever you're gonna zero gap, what you're gonna do is you're gonna loosen both of your top screws. Do not loosen them all the way, just a little bit, enough for your blade to be rocking back and forth, just like so. So now what you're gonna do is, the first thing that I like to do is I turn the clipper on, and I just try to find the center of the blade. And once I find the center of the blade, I go ahead and now I'm going to begin the zero gapping process. So basically, I'm trying to get my bottom cutting blade as close as I can to my top blade without it overlapping. And one quick tip that I like to give you guys is although zero is completely flush, I still like to leave a little gap. Reason being is I've noticed whenever you have them completely flush, if people's skins have any type of irregularity, and I mean like a little bump or anything, you will nick that client, it will cut them. So try to leave just a little gap. Once you do that, go ahead, flip it over, hold it in place, and tighten them one by the other, and go really slow. If you try to press down and force one side, what's going to happen is that blade is going to shift and it's not going to stay zero gapped. So now I'm just gonna double check everything. I like to look at it sideways, and as you can see, I have them almost completely flush, just with a little gap there. Lighting also helps out whenever you're doing this, just to make sure you actually got it sitting good. And once it's good, you go ahead and tighten these, and you don't want to over tighten these either. You just want to get them nice and snug. So now, as you guys can see, these are officially zero gapped right there, and this will blend out any line I cause with my edges, as far as like any with my GTXs or my Babyliss FX skeletons. This will fade that line out. And that's pretty much how you guys do it. Nice and simple, but hopefully that helps you guys out. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching.